webinar is now live, and
Yay!
there's one person that is coming in so far.
Hello, Mum.
Exactly. Hi, Tad. Hello, Tad. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's great to be doing this again. As I say, every time we do any of these briefings, it would be so much nicer to be doing this in a conference room in a lovely hotel, and looking forward to a glass of wine afterwards. But as we do not have that option, we are meeting again by Zoom. I'm absolutely delighted that, Adrian, you brought this idea to do this. I think we've spent an awful lot of time on webinars, have we not, over the last year? And this one is completely silly. It's not educational in any way, shape or form, except into an education into the psyches of the panelists who are taking part. And I'm not the moderator. I'm actually, Adrian very kindly asked me to be a panelist on this one. But before we get started, we've got about 60 people signed up. We usually get about 30 to 35 come in on that. Obviously, this is being recorded, so it'll be on our YouTube channel. But a shout out to everybody who's listening. We would love you to take part. We're going to try and do these every month. You'll see the format as the briefing goes forwards, but it's just a bit of fun. It's meant to be what it is that really winds you up and what you do with it. But I'll let Adrian describe all of that. Sabrina, thank you. Room 101 is one of my absolute faves. Looking forward to this. I hope we won't let you down.
Yeah, no pressure. Thank you.
No pressure. Adrian, over to you. And again, thanks again for setting this up.
Pleasure. Well, thank you very much, Dom, and hello, good afternoon, and welcome to everybody to this EuRA version of Room 101. It's not quite like the TV one, but for those of you who are unfamiliar with Room 101, let me explain that it's a UK TV show. The title is loosely based on the room of torture at the Ministry of Love, would you believe, in George Orwell's book 1984. And the book was a room where the prisoners went to face their greatest fears. All very cheery stuff, perfect for a Friday afternoon with EuRA briefing. I know that in American English, the term 101 refers to the beginner's course, which I guess is a neat segue here for me, because it's the first time we've done this. Dom and I wanted to do something different, something that was a little irreverent. We wanted to have a Friday afternoon that didn't involve learning anything, that would be of absolutely no business value whatsoever, managed absolutely no expectations, but allow people to smile at controversy. And so my guests here are going to attempt to have their pet hates dispatched into Room 101. So if you have come to learn something, this isn't the place for you. But if you want to have a laugh, disagree with my guests' choices, or even agree with them, the next 40 minutes or so is for you. The rules of the show are really simple. I have three lovely guests who share their pet hates, the things that really get their goat, or as Dom said, grind their gears. They have to convince me with their arguments why I should banish their pet hate into EuRA's Room 101, the room of oblivion, forever. Well, at least until the end of this show anyway. You, the audience, can have your say through the polling that's going to be pushed out there. And I only say I may listen to your thoughts, but for the next 40 minutes, I'm judge, I'm jury, and I'm the pet hate executioner. The power is all mine. I've described my guests as lovely, but we shall see whether or not they are lovely, and we'll see what riles them up and gets them fired up. Perhaps we may see, well, a different side to three well-known characters in our industry. So let me introduce them. My first guest is Mima Hillier, and I think a round of applause for Mima being here, Dom, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's not loud.
That wasn't loud at all.
Turn up the volume. I mean, how far away is this crowd, for goodness sakes? Mima is the MD and the owner of TTH Curzon here in the UK. Mima is a very keen golfer, which demonstrates to me she always has impeccable taste. But we'll see what she selects to go into Room 101.
Ah.
My second guest is an icon of relocation, and you'll get the pun. It's Simon Johnson, MD and owner of Icon Relocation. More applause, please, Dom.
Just about there.
Goodness me. I mean, we're sure that audience isn't at Wembley. And Simon is, as you know, well, many of you know, actually is the chairman of the Association of Relocation Professionals here in the UK. I'm on one of his steering groups, so effectively, intermittently, he's my boss. So bearing that in mind, I'm sure that he too has impeccable taste, although he is known for causing some controversy. Will he this time is the question. And my final guest needs, well, zero introduction, because he seems to be known by everybody in every country of the world. It is, of course, Dom Tidy.
Hello.
That's a bit louder.
Now you got it.
Yeah. Now we know where the applause is for. Dom, as you know, is the Chief Operating Officer of EuRA and in charge of the technology at the moment. He is an all-round good egg, or as the French would say, a bon oeuf. I just want to show my linguistic skills. Thank you very much. Those that know Dom well are aware he can hold a strong opinion, or 1,000. So it will be interesting to see what he wants to put into Room 101. Okay, so now you know how all this is supposed to work. We're going to start with Simon and find out what he would like to put into Room 101. Simon, over to you and sell it to me.
Okay, thank you. Well, the item that I would like to put into Room 101 is Mamma Mia, or to be more precise, the film.
The movie.
The movie.
Mamma Mia, not the ABBA gods and legends that are out there. No,
no, not them or the stage show. It's
okay.
film.
The film. So, Dom, do we happen to have a look at Mamma Mia, the movie, with sound?
Every girl has a dream.
I want the perfect wedding, and I want my father to give me away. Look at my baby, your whole life has been.
Every family
I read Mom's diary.
has a secret.
And I have 3 possible fathers. Oh my God.
Every wedding
Which one did you invite?
has a few surprises. You always knew how to make an entrance.
There were 3 guys around the same time. So do I.
The last time I saw your mother, she said she never wanted to see me again.
So who is your dad? I don't know.
It's very Greek.
Mamma Mia.
You sound like you're having fun already. Oh, we are. I used to.
Right. So, Simon, sell it to us.
Well, I rest my case, frankly. I think there we go. Okay, so I appreciate this subject will probably alienate half the population of the world at least, and including my family, because my wife and my both daughters both absolutely love this movie. The issue here is not the component parts. Do I have a problem with ABBA music? No, it's great. It's timeless. It's done its job. It's amazing. It's still good. Do I have a problem with a backdrop of Greece? Hardly. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Do I have a problem with the actors? I don't even have a problem with Pierce Brosnan singing, which is saying something. I mean, good for him. I'm no angel when it comes to singing, so I'm not going to criticize that. So you look at this and you go, oh, this will be great. And you sit down on the sofa, and an hour and a half later, you kind of go, well, that's time I'm never going to get back in my life ever again. It's a bad movie. It's not particularly well done. I imagine it was a giggle to make. I totally accept this. But the real thing is, it's a movie you can't say you don't like. And every time I raise this with anybody going, it's not a good film, they go, how dare you say that? It's an amazing film. It's a wonderful thing. You can't say things about it. Go, no, it's really not very good. And it's just, I'm sorry. Don't keep going. And Mamma Mia too. I mean,
I can, without the questions coming in or the chat line at the moment, I can hear the outrage, Simon. You don't need to be plugged into anything to hear the outrage that there are millions of people around the world who think the movie is absolutely amazing, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's classic ABBA. I'm sure Mima doesn't like it. What about Mima? Do you like it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the nicest movie, and I'm so pleased they made Mamma Mia 2. And today the breaking news was that they might even make Mamma Mia 3. And I will
Simon.
keep watching them forever and ever and ever.
That's not good news.
How are you feeling, Simon? Are you feeling at all isolated in this one in terms of Mamma Mia the movie?
Yeah, I don't know why I put this forward, because I'm isolated in my house. I mean, every time it comes on, I'm outnumbered on the female count here. So I've watched more than my fair share of female bosun movies, shall you say that? And I've gone through pretty much all of them. And I sit on this one and I just go, the soundtrack's okay. If they want to put the soundtrack on, that's fine. But I mean, apparently there's a storyline in there somewhere.
But there is a storyline. There are 3 possible daddies. And there is a wedding. And this is so beautiful. And Meryl Streep is running up to the church at the end of the film, and B.S. Brosnan is crying, Donna, Donna. How romantic is that?
Yeah, look, I appreciate this isn't going to go well, and I appreciate I'm probably not going to be popular. But you did say bring your pet hate, and it's
you have done, and I have to say that Pierce Brosnan singing is one of my pet hates. You know, he absolutely mangled a lot of that, didn't he? Really, he was better off as 007 than trying to think he was Pavarotti. It wasn't going to work really in there. But they wanted another hunky man. They had Colin Firth in there, didn't they?
Got to have a bankable star. Can I just read? There's quite a few things that have come through to the panelists in the chat, which are not, obviously quite a lot of the attendees can't see. So Alistair Murray, don't have a problem with Pierce Brosnan singing, really. So, it says it should have been by the Brits with a little more dry humour. Says he agrees with Simon. Tracy Coutsman, I agree with Mima. It's a laugh of a movie. Andrew Scott, sorry, I'm a fan.
It's 50-50, isn't it, on this one, really? It's a tough one. It really is. I mean, a lot of people have said to me in my street that I look like Colin Firth. Unfortunately, they're talking about the 91-year-old neighbour next door, but it's nonetheless, what are we going to do here with this one? It's a tough one. I'm not sure yet, Simon, that you've made a compelling case. Can you say why you think the movie's bad in terms of not just the story, which is all linked together with these fabulous 70s and 80s songs?
Yeah, I mean, I never saw the stage show, and I imagine the stage show was excellent. I understand this is a whole storyline that's weaving these different songs together, so they kind of came up with a plot that actually made the lyrics reasonably fit, and that's really clever. So I kind of get that. That's fine. And I can imagine actually when they're putting this together, it was great. And I don't want to criticize editors or directors, but you kind of look at it and go, nah, that could have been done so much better. But it's really the issue is the fact that if you go anywhere, you speak to, especially the women that I know, and you even breathe or hint the fact that maybe this isn't the best film you could ever watch. It's absolute uproar. And it's kind of more that, the fact that actually you can't say it's a bad movie because it's really not acceptable to say it. Well, it kind of is.
So Simon, do you like musicals generally?
I wouldn't say they were my top choice, but I don't object to them, put it that way. I mean, especially as a stage show. As I said, I mean, this would have been great to see as a stage show, and I think musicals are great on stage. Do I have a problem with them as a film? No. Although the whole idea of bursting a song randomly walking down the beach is a bit curious, but no, I don't have a problem with the genre.
Okay.
So does it never make you cry at the very end of joy, of happiness? Because it's such a beautiful ending.
Yes, so there was a relief. We can move on to something else.
So we've got tears of joy on one end and tears of frustration at the other end. Dom, what about you?
Well, Tracy Coutsman says, I think there's a bit of bias here because the panel has 3 men and only 1 woman. But I'm representing...
Thank you, Tracy.
Sorry, Tracy, you don't quite get this. It doesn't matter about the bias. The only person's opinion that counts is mine. Power. So thank you, Tracy.
Balance that out with the gay sensibility of Mamma Mia being a gay icon of a film. So I suppose my take on it would be, I do agree with Simon that the production values are somewhat lacking. I think my biggest irritation with the Mamma Mia franchise is in Mamma Mia 2, Cher is Meryl Streep's mother. I find that very, very upsetting. But apart from that, I'm on the fence with this one.
Right. Well,
I love it.
well, thank you. Simon doesn't. You do. Dom's got problems with Cher. Who hasn't? You know, it's the first one. Whether or not I want to put this into room 101, and I've got to tell you that I was going to look at the poll.
Good. I shall launch it right now. Okay, everybody. Poll launching.
They'll be on my side.
So, time to vote. Let's see what the...
You can see that, right? Yeah. Oh! Whoa! Oh! No! Okay,
well,
you can see that, right?
I can't see the results.
Okay, I will show that. So the results are yes to put Mamma Mia into room 101, 64%. No.
64?
No, it's 36%. Now,
Get in. Get in.
Oh, no!
Thank you.
Well, I mean, yeah, 64% of you would like to put Mamma Mia the movie into room 101.
Just so that we're clear, that means it's banished forever.
Yeah, yes, banished forever. You can never hear it again. You'll be able to listen to number 2 and number 3 when it comes out, and then you can put them into room 101. But what we're saying, room 101, 64% of you want to get rid of it. And the really bad news is I'm not going to put it into room 101. It is saved. It is saved. I live with some people that would probably kill me if I put it into room 101 and banished me forever, or it forever. So I'm sorry. No, I'm totally ignoring all of you. It stays. It's saved. And the saved sound, please.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm having trouble with these sound effects.
I just want to say at this stage, thank you, Alistair. Yay. And as for Simon Bell at this stage, you might say shame on me, but power. It's what it's all about. So lovely. That was our first one. It was saved. So that didn't go, so well for Simon, who wanted to get it into room 101. So let's find out how Mima wants to get on. And Mima, what's your entry into room 101?
Hello, everybody. I really want to put Crocs in room 101. They are the ugliest shoes in the world. People use them like Wellingtons, and they are not Wellingtons. They use them as sandals, and they are not sandals. They are used as flip-flops, and they are not flip-flops. They are just simply ugly. And one day we all are going to wake up in a next to a mountain of abandoned Crocs, because they are so durable, you cannot destroy them. Crocs adverts, again, durability. They bang on to durability. Ha! Yes, they are really, really durable. Just like any Evian bottle or single-use water bottle, plastic bottles. So Crocs will go on and on and on, and nothing will destroy them. And then when the world ends, there will be cockroaches, Crocs, and Evian or water bottles. Awful. Also, sorry, yes?
No, I was going to ask you, do you think people know what Crocs are? Do you think people would recognize a Croc, like this garden Croc that I have here? And Simon's got, and Dom's got some as well, Mima. Looking, yeah. So no, we don't use Crocs very much.
Yeah, I don't have a pair of Crocs.
Can I just bring your attention to the chat box for a second? Oh, Tad's just brought his Crocs in as well. There you go.
Well done, Tad.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
They're lovely. They are just old man's Crocs. Yeah.
Mima, here are the responses. Andrea Strakowitz, thank you. Mima for president.
Yay! Without Crocs.
And Uggs, please. Gracie Kautzman, agree 100% Mima. Shraddha Mittal, oh my God, yes. Kristen Taylor Groom, agree with everything you're saying, Mima. Anita Maritescu, oh no, they are everywhere. Patricia Hogan, totally agree with Mima. Shraddha Mittal, oh my God. Alistair Murray, go Mima. Patricia Hogan, I don't have Crocs. Andrew Scott, agree Mima, and throw in the tracksuit folks.
Well, I can tell you this, that when one goes diving and you have this beautiful like Mediterranean Sea and you go diving there, you go all the way to the bottom of the sea, you will find single, not a pair of Crocs, only one Croc and water bottles. Very seldom you find any other footwear there. It's beautiful fish, and then you find this pink or lime cream colored Croc. So how do they end up there? I think it's people go on these lovely, beautiful boats and they are wearing Crocs and they actually really don't like them. So they sit by the edge of the boat and by accident, they drop one of them in. So then they can bin the other one somewhere else. So then people think, okay, now I'm binning my Crocs because I don't like them any longer. But you can't. They are durable. You cannot destroy them. Even though you put them in a bin, they will still exist. And that's where the mountains of Crocs come.
Can I just ask you a question? So that pair that I gave you Christmas 2 years ago, are they now at the bottom of the Red Sea?
I doubt it. They float, don't they? One of the advantages of Crocs, they float.
But they are always in the bottom of the sea, so there must be a fault.
They're pirated ones.
Yeah. So anyway, so why would you buy them?
Well,
because
Clivia said
there is, yes, they are non-slippery. That's what that's another Croc advert. They're durable and they're non-slippery. Do you really need non-slippery shoes when you do gardening or you walk on a sandy beach? There is no point of that. Also, they have holes on them, so you can't use them as Wellingtons because obviously they're not watertight. And it's really, even nurses are now, in England at least, forbidden wearing Crocs because sharp objects can go through the holes in them. So it's the same goes with gardening. If you're gardening with Crocs, you might drop something in it and hurt yourself. So there is no point having them. And then let me continue to go to the accessories. Do you really want to walk with Crocs with little shovels and flowers and butterflies, filling up the little holes on them? No. Really?
Robbing children of joy, you know that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the three men here in this panel.
Honestly, I can't believe this because American middle school and high school children wear them for their school shoes. For Crocs. I mean, that's apparently what they do. They are the most popular shoe in middle school and high school. Sorry.
Crocs and socks, that's really not
no Crocs and socks. I mean, it's like flip-flops and socks, isn't it? I mean, so Mima, do you actually wear flip-flops?
I do wear flip-flops.
So just what's the difference between a flip-flop and a Croc then? They're both foam. One's got sides and the other one hasn't, but aren't they the same thing?
They are not the same thing. When you're wearing flip-flops, your feet don't start to smell because it's not encased in this plastic thing. And also, there is less flat plastic on flip-flops.
But don't you wear fit-flops?
I don't wear fit-flops.
Just checking.
They're too plasticky. So I really think that David Attenborough and Greta Thunberg should take this anti-Croc campaign to save our planet. Because it's so tied into this whole thing.
That's a good point. That is the big issue of the day, isn't it? So, yeah.
Well, the other one is the smelly feet, and it's good to know that Tad Linden doesn't think he's got smelly feet. And apparently we have the best thing is people with Crocs tan lines on their feet, which of course is true. You end up with those gaps, don't you, which then get tanned, and then you look really, your feet look
really silly.
Yeah, I know. Do you know how many Crocs they sell across the world in a year?
I don't know. It's probably incredible amount of money. It's really scary. 300
million.
They are durable.
300 million. Well,
they shouldn't sell so many. So
Okay. Well,
I really would like to ban them and put them in a room 101.
okay. There was a guy called Bill Maher who spoke in 2007 about Crocs, and he said it was only a year ago when preschoolers and mental patients wore these, but now grown-ups all over America have gone Croc crazy. The latest step in our unending quest to dress as casually as humanly possible. You know, I used to wear flip-flops, but they were a little dressy. I want clothing I can hose down. I admit it, we're a nation of slobs who won't be happy until we can go to the mall in a diaper. I mean, and that's how people view Crocs.
After a year in lockdown, I'm sorry, I'm all for leisure wear.
Yeah. So, you know, slobs, it is an interesting one. But the Crocs company employs 4,000 people and makes $129 million a year profit.
Shocking.
Not bad, is it really, for durable shoes? So
if you could only own one pair of shoes, yeah, and you chose to have Crocs, and you wear them on and on and on, you wear them 100 years, and they are still completely as new, fine. But that will never happen. You will have other shoes, and then you have other colors Crocs, and suddenly the mountain of Crocs just grows and grows until we are drowning on them. So I think we should put them in a room 101.
So you really think that this is a climate change disaster waiting to happen? It's part of the way we're destroying our planet is with Crocs. And you blame Crocs?
Absolutely. I blame Crocs.
It's not fossil fuels, really, it's Crocs.
It's Crocs, but it's also, you know, think if you go to a business meeting or you go to black tie dinner and then somebody's wearing a black tie with a pair of Crocs with little butterflies on them. It's not a pretty sight.
No.
Is it?
No. Okay. I mean, I'm going to answer Sabrina's asked a question, a very important, insightful question. Who does their relocation for them? It's a good question. None of us know, unfortunately, but we're all going to try and find out after this. So
everything what comes out of Italy is always really stylish and wonderful, but they got it wrong with Crocs.
Right. Okay. So Dom, before I wrap up, can we sort of do a rough idea on a poll, please?
And indeed, poll is now open.
Come on then, let's get some votes on Crocs and see what people think. Whether or not we should put it in room 101. I've gone against the masses in the first one. What's going to happen with this one?
Okay, 5 more seconds and I'm going to close the poll.
So who's voting? Everybody.
Okay, there you go.
What? Oh.
Wow.
Yes!
Even more than Mamma Mia.
More than Mamma Mia, yeah.
Oh, it's a question. Am I going to be in a contrary mood or not? Really, it's a tough one, isn't it? With 75% of you want Crocs in room 101.
Think of the planet.
I've got to tell you from my perspective, I think Crocs are truly ugly. They are utilitarian, they are useful, but I do dislike the ones with the country flags on, which you might see, or Thomas the Tank Engine, or Woody and Buzz Lightyear. And I mean, you know, you look at these shoes, the ones with Crocs written down the side, just in case you've forgotten the brand. I just think, you know, they are really, yeah, they are naff knockoffs, really. When you see Dom's lovely Crocs there, they're just knockoffs of leather shoes, really, aren't they? I mean, really, just they are naff, I think. They're even ones with camouflage on the shoe, but, you know, I can still see my feet, so they don't work, do they? So under the circumstances, I think this is room 101. They're gone.
Yes!
Crocs are banned. Can we have the sound, please?
Did that work?
No, that was awful. Turn the volume up.
I can't.
Okay. Oh. Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, it takes 3 goes, clearly. Sorry.
And can I just say to Sabrina at this stage that if you want to go after the relo of Crocs, you're very welcome, but they are forever lost now in room 101. So that comes to the last of the guests who are, and it's Dom, and he's going to, well, tell us what he would like to consign to room 101.
Well, thank you very much. I had to think long and hard about this because there's quite a few things that irritate me in life. But I think I was talking to Dad about this. Okay, so I live in a house where every consumer durable device wants to communicate with me and have a relationship with me. And I am confused and troubled by this, okay? So I'll take you through this. The hob, right? It's where I cook food. Very simple device. It's one of those ones that is an induction. So if you put something on it that isn't stainless steel or the Creuset or whatever, it goes wah, 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 wah. It's like, I bought you. I know you don't work with that. I don't need to be told that because I already understand. So that irritates me. Mm-hmm. The refrigerator is, you know, big double door American style fridge, really great. Does what it should do, which is make things cold. If I leave the door open, not only does it beep at me after, I think, 35 seconds, why 35? But it also has these LED panels, colors. So it'll go from green, which is the temperature's correct, to white, which means the door's open. Do you know what, though? I can see the door's open, so I don't need a white LED telling me that the door is open. And then as it starts to bleep to tell me that the door is open still, it turns red. So it's not just trying to share this with me in an audible fashion, it's trying to show me as well. Which is, you know, it's just, when I come to think about the people in the design meetings who think this would be a real enhancement to this product. Let's make it go green, white, and red on the door in big flashy lights, because that's just going to make people's lives easier. I have a toaster which has two sets, one side, you can do them separately. So when you do and then they beep to tell you that the toaster's done. That's not a bad idea because it doesn't pop them up, right? It just tells you that it's switched off. They couldn't make it so that the beep was the same. One side goes wah, and one side goes wah. And when they do it together, you get this horrible sound. So just really annoying. I have to jump to it before it goes off by itself. Otherwise, I have that. So then, Alexa. My nephew's bought me an Alexa. I have to say, I think it's super clever technology. But she will suddenly make a weird wah, 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 and then glow yellow. And then she won't say why she's glowing yellow. You actually have to ask her. And you can't just say, Alexa, why are you yellow? She'll just go, I'm sorry, I don't know that. You have to say, what's my notification? And then she goes, you have one notification. Yes, I know, because I just asked what my notification is. You have one notification from Amazon Shopping. Your Coca-Cola will be delivered today. Well, I know that because I placed the order for it. But anyway, so second to last, the alarm system in this house, which is super clever. It's all Wi-Fi. You know, you install it yourself. You do it through an app. It's all very clever. When the batteries run out in a particular sensor, and there's loads of them, right? There's infrared sensors, there's camera sensors, there's door sensors, there's garage, blah, blah, blah. When you set it up, the app doesn't say to you, you need to give this sensor a name because you've got loads of them. So when the batteries go and it says PIR sensor needs batteries, you're going to have to go around the whole house and figure out which one of these needs batteries. So you need to give it a name. It needs to be the one in the hall or the one in the bedroom or the one in the garage, right? So I learned that, went round, reprogrammed the system. The box for the alarm has to be plugged into the phone, which is next to the television. So you're at the critical point of a really emotional film.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Meryl Streep climbing up the hillside with the red thing behind her.
Yep.
And
can't find your Crocs.
Can't find your Crocs, exactly. One of them over the edge into the sea.
Yeah.
This emotional climax, and suddenly the alarm box goes, and your phone says, oh, the garage needs batteries. It won't stop going every 10 seconds until you go and do it. Wow. So you have to stop, Mamma Mia. Get yourself out of your emotional state. Go to
find your Crocs.
Find your Crocs.
Yeah, put your shoes on. Yeah.
And then the last one is the tumble dryer. when the tumble dryer finishes its cycle, oh, by the way, that's something that really irritates me. There are 200 different programs on the tumble dryer, but it's an automatic tumble dryer. It senses when things are dried. So why did they need to add the anyway? So it makes this noise when it's done. Goes on for ages.
I think that's the new EuRA anthem. I don't understand the problem here. I mean, it should be, you know, before you open up the next symposium, you have to play that music.
It's like it wants to be my friend. It wants to delight my day by saying it has finished drying my clothes. I know it's finished drying my clothes, and do you know why? Because it's not going round and round anymore. I can see this.
Yeah.
I want to put pointless noises on appliances, not the appliances. The appliances are great. Oh, thanks again. But the pointless noises that make me want to have a relationship with them.
Okay. Well, I mean, pointless noises. It's a tough. I mean, we happen to have a washing machine that, when it finishes, it just plays a tune, much like your dryer, and then beeps every 5 seconds until you actually open the door. Now, I mean, there's a bit of an argument here that I've heard put forward in this household along the lines of, well, you know, you didn't load it, so perhaps you might go and unload it because you know it's finished. So maybe the alarm or the beep has got a useful function in helping with reminding everybody that they could all go and empty the washing machine. I don't know, or the dryer.
Well,
I mean, it's a thought.
Sabrina raises a really good point. She says maybe they are actually for visually impaired people, and that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. They are not adjustable. But in that, if that's the case, you were telling me earlier, Adrian, you can switch off your car's annoying bleeping.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I'm lucky enough to drive a Tesla, Model 3 Tesla, and some guy called Joe twittered Elon Musk and said that every time he takes his kids out and they fall asleep on the back seat, because of the number of beeps and chimes and whistles and everything that this car does, his kids kept waking up. So Elon Musk, the next time we all got a software update, put in something called Joe's mode, which is a virtual button that silences all the beeps and the chimes and everything. Well, makes them quieter in the front and switches them off in the back. So, you know, to try and get rid of those annoying beeps that wake up the kids. I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for this one, but on the other hand, it's been pretty good. These beeps have saved lives, haven't they? I mean, I know smoke alarms save lives. The beeps have told you to replace the battery or in the carbon monoxide or whatever. I mean, the only bit I don't like is that the beeps always start when the battery runs out at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why batteries are programmed to run out at that time, but they do, and that's a frustration. But, you know, we've done beeps really well, haven't we? I mean, what about a reversing lorry? You know, everybody's got their phones and they're walking along down the street. They can't actually see anything because they're not looking where they're going. And if it wasn't for the beeps on the reversing lorry, they'd probably get run over. Beeps not saved lives?
Yes, I give you that, but my appliances are different. I mean, okay, yes, the smoke alarm, I totally get that, and I check, you know, that's a wider system, but no, my fridge thing is not saved my life. Well, I suppose it might do if my food was all spoiled and then I didn't realise. And yeah, I mean, okay, if you just stretch, Adrian, it's a stretch.
So the infrequency of your dryer and your toaster is worth offsetting against life-saving chimes and beeps, is it?
I wouldn't make that distinction, but if they let me put it. I'm not going to change the plea. The plea is putting beeping machines into the market. But when manufacturers, when you're having those product development meetings, at least make the toaster make the same noise on both sides, please.
Okay.
It's when the beeps for something that is blooming obvious. I mean, it's sort of like in your car. I mean, with the car doors open and it beeps. Okay, you say the car doors open. Yeah, I know it's drafty. The doors open. I can work this out. It's the beeping when there is something blooming obvious. I think the beeping is useful when you don't know. I mean, having the tumble dryer beeping, I think, is fine. Bursting into song is quite another.
Or Pierce Brosnan, you want to beep?
Couple of great chats. Alistair, I hope you don't drive an Audi. Same as you, Adrian. King of pointless noises. Sabrina, I love this. It could be another movie. My smart home is killing me.
With noise.
With noise. John,
With noise.
I'm with Dom. Not every improvement is an improvement. And Tracy, I agree with Simon. So there you go.
It's interesting because I was doing a bit of research because Dom, you mentioned to me what you were doing. I thought I ought to have a look at this one. And the World Health Organization did a survey. I know they're not that popular at the moment in some countries, but this survey said that apparently 40% of Europe's population is exposed to noise levels in excess of 55 decibels, the same as an average noisy office. Well, obviously not at the moment because of the pandemic and there's hardly anybody there, but a noisy office, that's quite a lot. This, coupled with open plan living, is apparently disturbing sleep, raising blood pressure, and can even raise the chances of heart disease. So your beeps, they could be seeing us all off, really, couldn't they? Along with Pierce Brosnan singing.
Well, John, I'm refrigerated to play Pierce Brosnan singing when I leave it open.
I would love that.
Well, okay. So this is a new thing. So anybody who's got the Zanussi account, next time you're doing your client review, can you take to them, please, when they're doing the fridge? Can they play Mamma Mia when the fridge opens, please? That would be great. Thank you. Okay, well, yeah, the trouble is, Dom, beeps are part of modern life, and it's going to be interesting to find out what the poll thinks. So do you fancy doing the poll, and let's find out what other people think?
Poll is open.
Okay, let's find out what. I mean, there's still a couple of people have left. A couple of people left, which is great. Let's find out what people want, apart from.
Oh, it's closer.
John Harmon wanting his refrigerator playing Pierce Brosnan, which is, quite worrying, really.
Disappointed the poll didn't beep. Love it, Alistair. Yeah. Okay, we're closing 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. 1. Oh, there's a lot. You're a really cruel lot out there, really. You want to put everything into room 101. I mean, it's really, really tough. And, because you're such a cruel lot, I'm not going to put this into room 101. Sorry, Dom. But I think that some beeps are alike, some chimes are alike. It's quite a musical world we live in. I know I coped when I was younger without beeps. But, one of the beeps that I like the most is the beep just before an announcement at the airport that says I'm about to get on a flight to go to Seville. We hope. So, that's a good beep to have, isn't it? So whilst I get your appliances, some of the noises are pointless, on the whole, beeps are okay. So sorry, it's saved. And you cruel lot, I'm not putting it into room 101. There you go.
I'll do the third time with the sound effects. There we go.
Hooray!
Hi, finally.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Tad. The airports are having a trend towards silent airports. I agree, which makes it really difficult to hear announcements, doesn't it? Anyway, listen, it's the times now is 1:45. We said it was going to be about 40 minutes or so. That's it for this inaugural show. If we come back, well, we'll leave that bit to you. I hope you enjoyed it. We've entertained you for a little bit on a Friday afternoon. A few controversial subjects in there, and you lot have obviously been far more crueler than I am in terms of putting things into room 101. If you would love to do this and join in and share your pet hates with everybody, then please do drop Dom an email at his EuRA address, and that would be absolutely great. We would love to hear from you.
Really would, yeah.
Thank you. It only remains for me to say thank you to my wonderful guests, Mima, Simon, and Dom, for taking part and putting yourselves out there and causing a little bit of controversy along the way. And thank you to everybody for joining us and taking part and giving us your thoughts. So thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and take care, and we'll see you next time round. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
So much. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, not enough.